Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another cozy fall reading vlog. I am so excited to be sharing this with you today. We are going to be reading 3 different mystery novels. We're going to be baking a pie, which I cannot wait to do, and just having some general fall cozy times. So if that sounds fun, keep watching and let's hop into our book selection. So I have 3 different mysteries for this, 2 from the library, which are cozy mysteries, and 1 that's more of a gothic historical mystery that I'm very excited for. So let's go into the first book, which is Mocha, She Wrote by Ellie Alexander. If you are a fan of cozy mysteries and you watch YouTube, you've probably seen people talk about the Bake Shop mystery series before, because it's just phenomenal. It's a phenomenal series. Basically, our main character is Jules. She is a pastry chef and she moves back to Ashland, Oregon in the first book to work at her family's pastry shop, which is Tort. Her father has passed away, but her mother still works at the shop and is also an amazing pastry chef. So in this particular book, we have seen her over the series expand Tort. She's got a great team. I highly recommend reading this series in order because the characters are phenomenal. All of the secondary characters have like fully fleshed out stories. You get to see them grow throughout the series, which I really love. But basically, Jules, one of her employees, Andy, he's like her head barista. He's really passionate about coffee and all these different coffee techniques, and I don't drink coffee, so I'm not gonna sound super knowledgeable on that topic, but he's their head barista and he's basically entered into this competition. So I love cozy mysteries with a competition setting. It's always so much fun. And so he enters the competition. He's very nervous but excited. This could be a really big deal for him, and I think there's like a money prize, you know, the fame of course. And one of the judges is known for being very mean, like very aggressive, very in your face, like could be like yelling at you for very little reason kind of judge, which is really not cool. And unfortunately that judge, even though he's very mean, he ends up dying, and that is where our mystery starts as Jules is trying to figure out who did it, trying to protect Andy, who is one of the suspects, along with other contestants, and also trying to make sure he's safe in case there is a murderer on the loose. So very excited for this. I love the covers for these. They are so cute. I mean, come on, that's just darling. So cute. The next one I'm really interested in. It's called A Dreadful Splendor by B.R. Myers. Now B.R. Myers, this is her debut adult mystery novel. She has written young adult novels before, but this is her first adult novel. Beautiful cover art. I mean, I just love it. The more I look at it, the more I love it. This takes place in November of 1852 in London, and basically our main character is Genevieve Timmins, and she is a fraud. I love this. I'm already so down for this because most of the time, you know, cozy mystery sleuths are kind of inherently good people. They were like good intentioned. They're usually very cozy, very charming. Everyone likes them for the most part, except maybe the cop or something they butt heads with. But this one is the like more gothic mystery I was referring to. So she's actually a fraud, and she puts on these fake seances and like cons people. She knows she's not a spiritualist or like can't speak to ghosts, but she claims to. She puts on tricks, and one day she's caught. And while she's caught, she gets an offer from somebody. The stranger comes to her and he says, "Look, I have an offer for you. I will help you get out of jail if you will put on a seance for my lord." So he's like the servant or secretary or something like that to this lord who's got a lot of influence in the area, which is why he's able to get her out of jail. So she agrees, she goes with him, and the reason he wants her to put on a seance for the lord is because he lost his young bride the night before their wedding. And the Lord is he's just, you know, he's absolutely in shock. He's grieving. He's not getting over it. Not that anyone should expect to get over that fast, but you know, he's really stuck. And so the servant thinks that if Miss Timmins can put on the seance and convince him that his bride is okay and like communicating to him, that maybe he will move on. It'll be for his betterment, right? And so that's the general premise. The fun part about this though, and this is all in the synopsis, so of course no spoilers, but they get to the estate where the lord is, and his name is Mr. Pemberton, and he is not fooled. He calls her out immediately. He knows she's not a spiritualist. He knows she can't talk to ghosts, but he says, "Look, I'll help you if you can help me find who murdered my bride to be." And this is very shocking because the bride is alleged to have harmed herself, and that's what led to her death. So, but nobody else really believes that except for the Lord, and he urges Miss Timmons to help him solve the mystery. So, what, I mean, the plot for that, what an amazing plot. And it says on the front, be careful what you conjure. I mean, I love the spine on this. Beautiful. I have a good feeling about this. I have read Ellie Alexander's Bake Shop Mystery Series, but these other two books, totally new authors to me. So this one I'm going in blind, but I feel so good about it. This next one has been a recommendation from a handful of you guys for such a while. It's been on my TBR and I finally got it. And I'm so excited. This came up especially recently because I did a bookish cozy mystery recommendation video. I'll link that above if you want to check it out. But this is called The Secret Book in Scone Society by Ellery Adams. I've had so many of you rave about this to me and I can't wait. So it takes place in Miracle Springs, North Carolina. This is considered a place of healing. There's like supposed to be like these hot springs that are healing, and if that doesn't work, visitors can visit Nora's bookshop where she is able to just give you, you know, the scones to like kind of heal your heart and everything. But she also has a really good talent for picking out the right book that you need at that moment to kind of just heal your soul. You know, she's got a talent for it. And she's excited because she has an appointment with this businessman who reached out to her, and he has a problem or something he wants her to help like pick out a book for. So she agrees, but he doesn't keep the appointment and she finds out that he's dead. So she forms the Secret Book and Scone Society with some of her friends, and the twist or like the gimmick for this society is that everyone has to reveal the reason that brought them to Miracle Springs. So they have to bring up their past like traumas, their past, you know, what brought them to this place that they needed some like healing basically. So that's the entrance into the society, and I'm so intrigued. I think that is such an interesting concept, and I love a bookish cozy mystery, and this also sounds like there's going to be some good food with the bakery inside the bookshop. So I can't wait. Thank you guys for recommending this. I'm excited to dive in. So I think we're gonna start with The Dreadful Splendor because this is perfect for like spooky season. I mean, this is fake seances. I mean, I'm there. I'm ready for this, and I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. So we're gonna start with The Dreadful Splendor, and I will give you an update later on. So in love with this writing style. The author's writing style is fabulous. I just, honestly, when I say I was sucked in from like the first sentence, just the first few paragraphs, the first chapter was, I'm so excited about this book series. I'm so immersed in this world. I can picture everything so clearly, and I'm so excited. I wanted to learn more about the character's past. There's been some interesting hints to her past and some different incidents that kind of brought her to where she is at in life. I'm really curious about that. We're also going to learn about the woman who was murdered, and we're reading some of her past like journal entries leading up to the event, which I love. They're really interesting. They're short and snappy, so they're not too long, but they give a nice reprieve between some of the chapters with our main character and just kind of give you some context, and I am really excited. This is going very well. I'm feeling like a 4 or 5 stars, maybe like a 5-star. I'm really enjoying this. It's just super like the gothic vibes are there. The beautiful estate on the ocean like cliffside, so it feels very like Daphne du Maurier with like Rebecca like Manderley being on like the coastlines. It's very spooky. It's very interesting. I'm enjoying learning what all these little elements are kind of referencing throughout the book as I go. The more, like I said, just the page, this art is just so beautiful. There's so many little details that kind of hint things in the book, which I love. There is a touch of romance, which is interesting. I'm enjoying learning about all of the people on the estate's premises. There's some very interesting characters. I'm loving this. I'm gonna finish this today for sure. I'm really enjoying this. It's good. It's really good. So if you are looking out there, I would say so far in terms of like coziness, I know this isn't a cozy mystery, but so far it's not really been very graphic in any way. It's not over the top. Like with that, there's been like different references to things or more serious topics, but nothing's been like super explicit in terms of graphicness. So I do appreciate that, as you know, I want a mystery, I want like a thinker, I want to be engaged, but the thrillers are sometimes where I try to, you know, thrillers can get pretty graphic. I do enjoy thrillers. There's something about the pacing of a thriller that hits differently than a mystery, but they can get really just heavy. And I do like the mysteries like this where they can handle darker topics, but not, you know, kind of, you know, imply certain things or not go into too much detail. I appreciate that. Like I just, it's nice. You know, it's refreshing. I can just really escape into it, and I like that. So this is going well. The atmosphere so far is top notch. Characters are interesting. I'm excited. I have some suspicions about some ways that things might turn out, but we'll see if I'm even in the right realm. I don't know. I'll give you guys an update in a little bit. 5 stars. 5 stars. I loved this. My mind is reeling. I so enjoyed this. This sucked me in. I barely was able to take a break midway through this. I raced through this. I was meaning to, my second chunk of time I was reading this, I was meaning to get up and do some other things and like take a break from reading for a bit. I couldn't. I was so sucked in. I couldn't. So I read it in like 2 big chunks, and I highly recommend if you start this, maybe you're trying to give yourself some chunks of time for reading if you can, because wow, I got sucked in so fast. I called parts of the ending, but then other parts completely had me surprised. I thought the ending was delivered very well. It was very dramatic. It was very intense. Overall, I would say, like I kind of mentioned earlier, in terms of the content, I would say there's like some descriptions of violence, but nothing that's super gory. It's overall pretty clean. Most of its implications, there's like one scene where it's a little more graphic, but it's pretty quick, so I didn't find it to be too intense or anything. The character, oh my goodness, Miss Timmons. And then the epilogue for this, the very end of this, the epilogue for this really did a great job of wrapping everything up. I so appreciate when an author really gives us a good look at how a character is doing after the big, you know, climax of the story. So I really appreciate that. I thought it was done well. I liked where the epilogue went with everything, and I loved this. It was so suspenseful. The like leading up to the big fake seance at the estate, very interesting. My only criticism, if I'm really nitpicking, was I kind of struggled with the timeline a little bit, because basically the main character, Miss Timmons, she arrives at Lord Pemberton's estate to do the fake seance. He quickly tells her he has no interest in that, you know, he wants her to help him solve the murder of his bride, but they agree to do the fake seance to try to trap the killer, right? They're doing their sleuthing, they're snooping around, they're trying to put clues together, and they're preparing for the fake seance to try to trap the killer. That's kind of, you know, what we're leading up to. So my critique was sometimes it would feel like the seance was like that day, but then I'd get to the next chapter and it was like, oh, the seance is 2 days away. Like I had kind of a hard time placing how long she'd been there and like how many days the seance was away. Overall, did it really affect my enjoyment of the read? Not at all, but I just, that's like, if I'm being like really like picky, that's the only thing I could think of that kind of where I was like, wait a second, I'm like, I need a little bit better of an idea of where I'm at, but it didn't really affect the story. I loved it. 5 stars, highly entertaining. I think this will probably make some of like when I do my top 23 books of 2023, I think this will probably make it. I'm really enjoying it. I know I'm coming off the high right now, but this would be a strong candidate for sure. So I really recommend this if you are looking for something historical, if you're looking for an interesting murder mystery with a very atmospheric, spooky estate. Very good, very interesting, very on the edge of your seat reading. I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna read Mocha She Wrote tonight is my plan. I want to start that because right now it's the afternoon, so I'm gonna start that later tonight, and I will give you guys an update in the morning. Hi guys, welcome back to another cozy day. I'm wearing my little Snoopy sweatshirt. Now that we're in November, I feel like I can wear my Merry and Bright. And I'm going to give you an update on Mocha, She Wrote. I'm at page 244. I wasn't feeling super well yesterday, so I didn't film an update, but I'm going to give you a quick update today before I finish this. And I'm loving this. I really love this. The Bake Shop Mystery Series, like I said, it's just one of the best cozy mystery series. I think it's just universally loved. I've never really heard anyone who doesn't like this series, as long as they, you know, like cozy mysteries and like baking mysteries. I love this. It's really good. It's high stakes. I like the characters. I have a theory, but I'm not really confident in it. Like, I feel like I keep switching back and forth. Like, Ellie Alexander's doing a good job with whoever her red herrings are, because I'm not convinced one way or another that I have the right person. So I'm very excited for this. It's been a really good read, really cozy, comforting. I'm enjoying reading about the different coffees they're making for different rounds in the competition, because it's just so fascinating to me. Some of the ingredients, like one contestant made an avocado coffee, like avocado I don't know if that's something that's done very regularly. I don't think it is, but I was like, oh, okay. So really interesting. I really enjoyed this. My only thing I want to add is, if you have not read the Bake Shop Mystery Series, I want you to consider how patient you are about the mysteries starting, because this series in general, it takes like sometimes like the first third of the book to really get into the mystery, but the build-up is really solid. Like, you really get a lot about the characters. It really sets the ground, so when the mystery does happen, it's just already like high stakes, like it's been built up. But if you are someone who really wants the mystery to happen within the first like few chapters, this series may not be for you. I think the first handful of books in the series got into the mystery faster, but as the series has gone on, it definitely sometimes takes a little while to get into the mystery. However, I love the characters so much because they all have such great plot lines that I personally don't mind that, even though I normally like a mystery that gets into it faster. So I really enjoy this. I'm loving it. This vlog could very well be like a 3 for 3, 4 or 5 stars overall like reading vlog. I'm really excited. Like, I'm feeling good about this because this is turning out to be probably like a 4 or 4.5 stars. I loved A Dreadful Splendor, that was 5 stars, and you guys loved the last book we're doing, the Scone book, Secret and Scone Society. I feel like I flip-flop some of those words, and I'm gonna go ahead and bake a lemon pie, which is maybe not the most autumn flavor for pie, but this is my favorite pie recipe I've ever made. It's a lemon custard pie. It's a recipe by the creator Sugar Spun Run. I'm a big fan of her YouTube channel, and I'll link her video for this and the recipe on her website down below for you. It's really quite easy and it's delicious, and I've gotten like, this is one of my most requested desserts among friends and family. Like, if I'm asking them, you know, what do you want me to make for, you know, Mother's Day or birthday or, you know, something like that for their meal and dessert, this is one of the things I get the most requests for. People really like it and I love it. It's nice and like tart, like a really nice lemon flavor. I love it. So basically we're making a graham cracker crust in the food processor, and this has brown sugar, white sugar, graham crackers, and butter. So we're making that, and then the next step is basically combining the sweetened condensed milk and egg yolks, and then the lemon juice. So you definitely have to squeeze quite a few lemons for this, but it's so worth it. It really is worth it. I highly recommend it. So love that. And then basically we bake the crust for 10 minutes on its own first, and then we pour the filling on top, bake it for another 18 to 20 minutes. I did 19 minutes, and then you have to leave it on the counter for a couple of hours to get it to room temperature before you wrap it in plasticware and put it in your fridge, and it needs to set for like at least 6 to 8 hours. I usually make it the night before, so I actually made 2 pies this time because I wanted to give one as like a thank you gift to someone, and then I also have a social thing the next day, so I'm bringing the pie. So I was decided, let's just double the recipe, get it made, and they turned out really well, so I'm very excited. guys, so I'm here with the kind of final update for this reading vlog. I really flew through the last book in this series, so I only had a little bit left of Mocha, She Wrote by Ellie Alexander. This finished really strong. I did put together who did it, but I thought the reveal was really exciting. I loved the mystery, I loved the coffee, the employee, like, the camaraderie between the employees is always so great, and I love this series. It's one of the most cozy series out there, so I highly recommend the Bake Shop Mystery series in general. And then the other book, The Secret Book in Scone Society by Ellery Adams. This was a really good recommendation, so thank you guys who recommended this. I really enjoyed this. I was really floored by some of the details in this book. Our main character in this book is Nora. She's moved to Miracle Springs, North Carolina, which is a place where a lot of people go to kind of heal from different things in their life, to kind of escape. It's a small town. It's got these healing springs, and it's a very interesting concept off the board. She runs a bookshop, and she basically gets involved in this case where someone that she was supposed to be meeting is murdered, and she gets involved in the case, and she ends up developing friendships through this case with these other women that she's connecting with in town, which is the first time she's connected with people since she fled from a past incident that was really traumatic and just horrifying, and she fled from it to restart her life in Miracle Springs. The secrets that these women have, because you're learning throughout the book the different secrets as they're starting to divulge to each other their pasts, and you're learning more about them. I will say some of these secrets were pretty rough to read. Some of these were pretty intense, especially for a cozy. I wouldn't say it's not a cozy mystery by any means, but definitely a bit more on the intense side, like topic-wise, than most cozy mysteries are. There was also like 1 or 2 times that there was swearing. I know some of you really prefer like no swearing at all, so keep that in mind. But otherwise, I really loved this. I think the women's friendship was amazing. I loved each woman was so super interesting. I think Hester is my favorite. I liked her because she's like the baker. So of course I really liked her, but the ending for this was super just like high stakes, really intense. The group that they've like formed is so endearing. I can't wait to see where this series goes. I'm hoping that they're going to help each of the ladies in the group over time, maybe, you know, bounce back from their secret past in one way or another, whether that's trying to make like, you know, whether that's trying to earn someone else's forgiveness or to reconnect with family or different things like related to their secret. So I'm really excited for this. I really like this series. I'd say this is a strong 4 stars. This was an excellent reading vlog overall. Thank you guys for joining me. I'd say both of the cozy mysteries, Mocha, She Wrote, and The Secret Book and Scone Society, 4 stars for me. Very strong reads, really enjoyed them. And The Dreadful Splendor, actually 5-star read for me. This was just such a unique, interesting read. I loved the kind of the gothic atmosphere, the setting, the very unique premise. I really enjoyed this. I'm hoping the author is coming out with more like this. This is her only novel for adults that's currently out, so I'm hoping she's gonna write more like this because I loved this. I thought it was just fabulous. So very excited. Thank you guys again for joining me on this just fun cozy autumn reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what kind of cozy things you're up to.